Hello and welcome to our channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. This is Brenda. So I'm here with another project starting off the new year, and I'm going to jump right into Valentine's Day. And I am in Design Space for Cricut because I want to make some treat boxes for my coworkers and my family. So I decided that I was just going to make some treat boxes this year. So I was in the community and in Design Space, and I just typed in Valentine's treats, and I wanted to explore what options they have in the community. Last year I made this project, so I'm looking for something new. And I wanted to take a look at all of the projects and what were my options because I wanted something fairly simple. So for today's project, let me go down a little further. I selected, see if I can find it. Not that one. This item, this treat box. So this is the treat box that I'm going to be using today. I've already imported it into my canvas, and this is what it looks like in Design Space. I've adding some custom name here, so I'm customizing this, making it my own by putting my mom's name. I've got one for Willie, and you just cut it. There's some score lines. It's ready to go. You wouldn't have to make any modifications if you didn't need to. You can make it, I don't suggest that you make it any smaller. It is 11.5 by 6.46. The only kind of modifications that I made to this file is I added my mom's name, and then I made a liner for the bottom of the box. I didn't care for the way it looked without a liner. So when you click on make it, I'm sorry. So let me just back up. So if you wanted to add a name or add some other messaging, you could go ahead and do a text box. And I'm using my Cricut Pens, so I'm going to say Linda. And I'm going to change that to writing. And I am looking for a font in my font for writing. I think this is, yeah, a writing font. And I don't care, you can pick whatever you want. I just wanted to make sure that I could use my Cricut pen. And let's just say I'm going to use this Flirt. Not a font I would actually use on anything, but it's fun. And I like that. So maybe I'll make a change the pen color to tawny. I'm just picking on another color, and then you can add it where you want it. So let's say I'm going to add it to the other side of the box because that is my mom's first name. Oops. This is grouped. So we go up there and grab that box. And I might need to make it darker because I really can't see. Let's make it that wine color. There we go. So if you wanted to make that a little smaller, I just brought that in a little because I really want that name to be the dominant thing. I can move this around, and then click back on my mom's name because her first name is Linda. And I can make her name a little bit smaller because I'm trying to get it to fit underneath the score line. Grab the wrong thing. And you know, where I could have a distinct text box. Whoops, too far over. Whoop, there we go. Can do it like that. Okay, so that looks tidy. Looks pretty good. And then I want to attach that. So I'm going to click on Linda. So I'm using my side panel here. And I'm going to click on the shift. And then I know it's this first XO. And then I'm going to attach that. So when I use my Cricut pen, it will write my mom's here and then Linda here. To make the liner, I measured the box. So it's about, let me see. No good with measurements, but it was it was under 3 inches, or maybe a little bit more than 3 inches, and a little bit more than 2.5. So, I just made I could just did a random sample of a rounded square. So I select images. I selected shapes, and then I did a rounded rectangle, and then I measured the finished box, of course, because I made it before. So let me back up a tick. The box, when it's completed project, the treat box is exactly 3 1/8 by 2 7/8. No, is that right? Yeah. 2 7/8. Yeah, so a little under 2.5 and not quite 3.5. Okay. And so I just scaled up my rectangle. I did it at 2.9, and then I said, let me just bump it up to 3 where I landed. 3.07 by 2.5, and that gave me the perfect liner. So this file in Design Space did not have this liner. Okay, I don't need that. And then when you click Make It, this is what you will get. As you can see, you're going to have a score line and some pens. And I have, I'll take you to the cutting side and meet you on the other side for assembly. See you soon. Enjoy. After cutting out all of the pieces using my Cricut maker 3. So it's time for the assembly. So so let's put this together. So I have my bone folder, I have some scissors, so I have my scissors and my bone folder, and then I have some score tape. And then for this cutout of the heart here, I'm going to have some acetate, but I'm just going to use some scrap packaging. So it's always a good idea to hang on to your packaging from your die cuts or whatever you're purchasing, because then you can use it for projects like this. So I didn't use my scoring stylus, I used my scoring wheel. So I'm just going to use my bone folder to score these together. So I'll put that. And this is going to be a really pretty treat box. It comes together really fast for Valentine's Day. So this is the first of many of my Valentine's Day projects. I think I'm going to do a card for Valentine's Day as well. I just haven't figured out what I want to do. I'd like to do a shaker card. I haven't done a shaker in a minute. So yeah. And then I found this design. I think I might have mentioned it earlier on Design Space. In the community, because I made some treat boxes last year for Valentine's Day, so I wanted to do it again today for this Valentine's Day. So I'm just using my bone folder to score this. And I made a little boo-boo right there. I ripped that piece. Didn't mean to. Yeah, this is not folding like I want it. So let's use it the other. Okay, there we go. I got a crisp fold now. And then I'll get I want a really crisp fold. Now the design, when I got this design in Design Space, it didn't come with a liner to the bottom. So I made a liner, just because I don't like the way the tab looked in the inside when I did it initially. So I just made myself a liner. I don't know why that's acting funky. Okay. So once you get everything scored, and before you close the box, you want to go ahead and cut out a piece of acetate, or just because I want to cover that window up, and it's going to look pretty nice. And then the same reason that I did the liner for the bottom of the box is just to give it a more finished look. Okay, so now I've got some scrap acetate, and it's nothing fancy about this. I'm just eyeballing it. Here, you may not be able to see it, but just eyeballing it here and just gonna cut it. And you don't want it to interfere with the score line, so you just want to measure it and let's see, just kind of eyeball it. I'm not the best at cutting things. You just want to make sure you cut it just enough. Oh, there we go, to cover the heart, the opening of the heart. And then I'm not going to use any liquid glue on this part. I'm going to use some score tape, and this is got this from Amazon. This is a 1/4 of an inch score tape. So I'm just going to lay that down, and then that'll take care. I won't have any glue oozing out. So I'm just going to do some quick measuring. As long as it covers the opening, it doesn't have to be real fancy. And as long as it doesn't interfere with the score lines. I cut that a little bit too long. So, get my smaller scissors. And then you can reuse these little scraps. May not make it as long next time. These itty bitties. Yeah, I'm not the best at cutting things. That's why I like using the manual die machine or the electronic die machine like my Cricut, because I have to cut or draw straight line. Probably could do it if I had a gun set to my head, but other than that, a little bit too. I am not the one. I just don't want if I'm going to put some treats in here, I don't want that acetate lifting. Okay, so one note to self, don't lose track of the acetate you just cut. Okay. I really need to bring out my trays. I have the trays for this stuff, so I keep forgetting to grab them. Maybe I can use one of these. And then just do a little bitty one. So, I don't know, get it close, but try not to overlap it. Okay, there we go. So, kind of like when you're doing a shaker window, it's the same idea. So, for your shaker carton, I'm just varnishing this down with my bone folder. And then I'll just lift up the back from this. I'm going to try to stay neat. One of my goals this year was, as I'm crafting, to try to be a little bit neater and not have things willy-nilly everywhere and anywhere. It's one of my goals this year. Okay. Safety first, so I'll close that up. And then I will just lay this acetate over the hole. Well, it's down now, so. And then there, my window's covered, and I got a nice little. It's got a nice little window for my little candies. So now, whoops, I forgot to do this one. Having done a lot of projects from Dreaming Tree, I really do appreciate the craftsmanship and just the overall attention to detail that Leo and his team does on some of their cut files, and appreciate having the videos to follow along is immensely, greatly appreciated. So I forgot to score this here. So before I move on, and I need to score the handle. Got to make sure you do that top part too. And I'm going to do again back and forth. Really, really appreciate the attention to detail. I cannot recommend Dreaming Tree paper projects enough. Because I have a few. I have a Valentine Day bundle, but what I was looking for was something a little bit smaller than what they had and not so intricate, because I got to do 15 of these, and I didn't want to do something too fancy. Okay, so I'm going to close that on itself. I'm going to use some liquid glue here, and so this is my favorite craft glue, Barely Art glitter glue. Barely Art precision craft glue. And then the idea is to make sure, now I'm going to pay particular attention and make sure I get this lined up and make sure those score lines all line up, because the goal is for the box to close and won't have any issues. And we got something stuck. Okay. And then fold it on itself, like that. That's the goal. And make sure. Okay. And then technically that's all you got to do. And then let me bend these back. And then I'm going to put the tab on the bottom. You don't have to glue the tab, but I'm going to glue the liner. So it went, see if I can do this right. In this way, in that way, and then this folds like so. Okay. And then you turn it over, and then it should collapse on itself. It should collapse on itself. It's getting there. Oh, there's got one piece. Come on. Do your thing. Okay. There we go. Is that it? Nope. That's not it. Try it one more again. Sometimes it's always on the struggle bus. Always on the struggle bus. Okay, so let's turn it this way. So this in, this in, this in, and this in. And if you do it right, I'm not sure. Not like the first time. Just make sure I'm doing something wrong. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Oh, I think I got it. Okay, when you're off camera, it works beautifully. When you're on camera, it doesn't work. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't want to fight with it. Because there we go. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, so that's what it should look like on the bottom. And then to finish it off, I'm just going to use a little bit of tape runner on the liner. And then just drop that liner in there. And then that finishes the bottom of the box. I'll just use my, and it adds extra stability. And then I didn't have to glue those pieces in, just that. And then, not sure what's going on right there. So then you can bring it together. So then I've thought about adding just a little bit. This is the removable, so it won't, so just adding a little bit of glue right here. I mean a tape runner, just to kind of bring it together and let the handles close. So that was my thought. So we'll see how that works. And then you just put it together like here. And let me see, I got a little, I don't know what happened here. I must have took it off the thing. Dot of glue. Got a little snag there on the paper. And then there's a custom box that says this is from my mama. And this is a nice little treat box. And then you can fill it with whatever you like. And yeah, I've got to make 15 of these. And you can do a pet of, you know, anything could go in this. And it's really custom by using different inks. I've got the Cricut Pens, so I'll just be switching up different color inks and to make it a little bit more individual. You can, if I had thought about it, I could have did a little ink blending, which I think I will, just to do a little inking around the, hit some ink on here, not a lot. With my Dewdrop Memento inks, just because as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking of ways to make it more like, I don't know, pick another color, pick another pink color, and then just ink the edges, or not, and just keep it plain. And what I'm thinking of next is on the cutout, just using while it's the pen, and just put my name on here and then drop it in the box, drop it in on top of the treats. So they'll know it's from me at work. All right, if you like what you see, if you would please, ma'am or sir, send me a comment, subscribe, and like our channel so we can help grow. And I will see you guys soon. Take care, crafty crafters.